Okay, so it's Friday, and I just want to show you what's going on. So you can kind of see there's some wet spots. This has been sitting overnight. I had that heater on at 65 degrees, and I had the main house down to 55. Now you can see in the corners, so I started sanding in here. Look at that. And that's sitting overnight. Okay, over here. I started sanding over here. That's soft. So, you know, whether it doesn't really seem to matter what time I get here or what I'm doing, we gotta push back. There's just no way I can get the mud to dry faster than it is. Unless you want me to crank up the heat, I can try that. You know, we can do 75, but see in that corner how it's still wet? I've got wet mud. So I can't, this is done with skim coating. I'm gonna call it good. If I have to patch those spots up top, I will. This is halfway done with skim coating, and you can see this needs a third. I might be able to get away with 2, but anyway, that is done. This needs to be done, and you can see all the imperfections in the drywall. I'm not gonna, with the time limit, I can't float that out because that's like, anyway, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna float it another time and see what it looks like. I sand it all up here, and you can see how that sticks out up at the top, but kinda, you know, what I'm trying to do is fill in these voids, but I've got it relatively flat now, right? And then up there I've gone across, and then over here, I made this transition a little smoother, and I'm trying to get in here, but there's a lot of little detail work in here. So that's what we're looking at, just getting here, you know, and it's later in the day because I had a bid down in Murphy's, and then when we come out here in the hallway, little spots. Now the thing is, if I rush and start sanding, those little spots might have to be redone. So it's really not worth it in my opinion. You know, we gotta just kind of let the stuff do what it's got to do. Now moving forward, I'm gonna start in here. Man, this is gonna be a little bit tricky. So I bought some rosin paper. I'm gonna lay down some rosin paper. We'll get as far as we can. I'm gonna mix up some mud, give that time to dry while I start doing the coats on the rest of this stuff, because I think most of this should be ready to give it a quick sand and another coat. So, you know, and then a first coat on this stuff. Now this right here where I floated it with a trowel, this came out looking pretty good, but the wall itself is cold. So as far as the mud drying, like it said, 75 degrees, 50% relative humidity, you're looking at 24 hours. Now I finished doing it, it's been, on some of this stuff here, it's been about 24 hours and it's still wet. So we're running it a little under temp, you know, for whatever reason, it's taking what it takes to dry. And then also that is costing me more time. So while we're doing it, you know, I just want you guys to be aware. I need to work Sunday, like for the rate I'm charging, man,